Hey, I'm Jake Joraandstad. I'm team manager here at Myriad Motorsports.
I'm Hans Horpedahl, team driver for Myriad Motorsports.
And we run FuelTech on our race cars. So we're out here at an event we call Gridlife Midwest Festival. It's one of the biggest amateur racing leagues in the country that happens to also be a festival. There's over 10,000 people here this weekend. There's concerts, there's touring cup racing, there's professional drifting, there's time attack, and then there's just track time for people. And so on top of all that, this festival going on around us, we've got car show, just about anything you can imagine as a car freak. It's kind of a mix of Fast and the Furious and Forza all together out here in Gingerman Raceway in Michigan. So we're a Midwest-based motorsports team, and we run 4 Honda S2000s in Gridlife's Touring Cup, so we call it GLTC. We've gone with the FT600 on all the cars, and running, in some cases, a custom harness. In other cases, we're running the FuelTech 4-cylinder harness. In my car, we're doing that. It's a K24, pretty simple. We've got drop-in cams, we've got stock motor, and then a whole bunch of sensors. We've got obviously engine and air temps. We've got all of our sensors hooked up to FuelTech so we can run everything from the dash. And probably our favorite thing when it comes to racing is when we set up our alerts on the car. I know when my fuel pressure is misbehaving, I know when my oil issues are coming up. And so on the FT600, we've got all those set up, and it's built into the ECU, built into the dash. And so all my alerts are on the FuelTech, my RPMs are on the FuelTech. We're pretty big fans of the FT600.
£100. That's what we're talking about at Gridlife Midwest Festival, the 11th annual Gridlife Midwest. It's round 4 of Gridlife Touring Cup, and we're underway. Gridlife Touring Cup is green at Gingerman Raceway. Down towards turn 1, Matan Rosenberg and Luke McGrew side by side, Greg. And so far, so good.
Ooh, you saw Matan, what you were talking about, got a little sideways there. But he was...
I'm Hans Horpedahl, team driver for Myriad Motorsports out of Fargo, North Dakota. This is my K-swapped S2000 running FuelTech FT600. My car is a K24 built by ASM, Andy Smedegaard Motorsports. We're running Penske 8300 double adjustable shocks on the car. Carcep sway bars, Ballade sphericals. I've been racing probably about 20 years, started out with autocross, I've done time attack, Baja off-road, started with Gridlife Touring Cup 3 years ago and I joined Myriad Motorsports and been racing with them ever since. Ever since we went wheel to wheel, there wasn't really much else in racing for me that was exciting, so this is where I've been, it's been my home for the last 3 years.
So we arrived here at Gingerman for Midwest Festival, and for me anyways, we've never really been a top 10 team, and there's over 60 cars entered this weekend just in the Touring Cup Challenge. So we had a lot of competition and showed up. My car's been well refined over the last few years, spent a lot of time in the shop this winter with it, and we showed up and we put down P7 in qualifying. So we were able to start way out front compared to what we're typically seeing. I mean, most of us have been in the kind of the mid-pack in the past, and so being the top 10 in qualifying, finished P6 in race 1, ended up finishing P6 in race 2. If we're not having 1 horsepower over on the dyno, I got checked and the car was a little bit making too much power, so I had to drop 10 spots. P16 we got. Race 3, finished P12, moving up, and then race 4 was in the rain. And at Gridlife, we do something at the end we call an invert. So they chose 12 cars to be inverted. I was P12, so I started on pole, which is pretty exciting. The challenge was whether it was going to rain enough to matter. And as you can see right now, it's been raining. We chose street tires versus rain tires and went out there, and it was a bit of a challenge. So we were drifting all day throughout the track and ended up in P8 and a top 10 finish overall for the weekend. So pretty happy with my setup.
We started the weekend bringing in a car that wasn't really ready to be here racing. We really leaned on the crew this week to try to sort out a ton of issues. We changed out wiring harness in the off season, added a bunch of features to the car, added drive-by wire to the car, and our crew really stepped up for us this week and got the car going, got the car ready to go on track. We fought with an ABS issue first 2 days of the weekend. Really frustrating because the S2000 will default to a rear bias. Very difficult to drive the car with that fault in the car. We were able to sort it out towards the end of the weekend, had a good result in race 3, moved up 10 spots. Race 4, we raced in the rain. I had moved up before spinning, but overall the team was able to salvage a really good weekend.
Both my teammates did super well this weekend. We had some ABS issues on one of the cars, but Hans did a great job, just about top 20 finish here this last race. And then Joel, he's been working on, he's got a J32 swapped V6 S2000, so we're testing with him, should we have more cylinders? We've got the K24 with the FT600s, he's got the V6. We're trying to see who's better so far. K24 is the winner.
We've got a bunch of companies that we really like and are comfortable working with that get us on the track every week. Hawk brake pads have been a sponsor of the team for 3 years. They send us pads, they send us fluid. They've been really great for us, stepping up, saving the team a ton of money year after year. They're one of our best sponsors. This year we brought on Koenig wheels. We're really happy to have Koenig across the whole line of cars. Those wheels are just tough, they're light. We had Joel's car this weekend, had severe contact with another car. The wheel was actually broken, and yet somehow the tire was able to stay on the wheel with air in the tire. So we were super impressed with that. And we also are sponsored by FuelTech. We have FuelTech FT600s in all of our cars, and they've been great for us. They've been great to work with. Their tech support is top notch. During the week, late at night, they're on with us. They're helping us if we have problems. They're helping us with tuning. They've been a huge reason we've been able to have the whole team on track.
So we work with a lot of sponsors at Myriad Motorsports. We work with our friends at A Solutions out of Chicago that supply us all our OEM parts to fix this car when we wreck something, bend in arms, whatever it might be. And then Mo Tools, our fluid sponsor. And we also spend quite a bit of time with the FuelTech folks. Been an awesome partner of ours, and what we appreciate about FuelTech is their support team. Whenever we need something, it doesn't matter if it's late at night, if it's in the morning, if it's on a track weekend, they've got somebody available, whether they're in Australia or Brazil or here in the US, who can kind of work with us on whatever challenges we have. And so big fans of FuelTech. Thanks for partnering with us for the 2024 season. And again, this is Myriad Motorsports. Check us out on Instagram.